know my car is dirty. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the vlog. If you guys are watching this right now, that means stickers have been dropped. There are limited supplies of stickers. There aren't very many. Cop it now while you still can. These stickers are to help support the channel as well as the builds to help provide some content for you guys. On top of that, I also donate 10% of all proceeds to a charity of my choice that helps with mental illness such as suicide prevention and domestic abuse. So it is something that is dear to my heart, so thank you for supporting. If you guys aren't new to the channel and you've been watching for a while, then you know the last time I took the S14 to the track, I did have a part failure that threw me off course. Fortunately, there was some tires against the wall, so there wasn't any serious damage. After that incident happened, we pulled off the track. Ours took the initiative to go ahead and start looking at the car. We did notice that there was some play on the other Heim joint. You should also know, watching this channel, that I previously had an issue with the Heim joint on my lower control arm legitimately separating. Just to give you guys an idea how it literally separated. So now it looks like the Heim joint on the knuckle is failing as well. There is some significant play. My fault for not assuming damaging one will have some stress on the other. But the guys over at Villains Drift are family of this channel, I would say. And what I mean by that is they reached out to me and wanted to support and help in any way. So in the meantime, while I get my suspension stuff situated, since I am borrowing Rob's kit, they went on and sent me some extended stock S14 lowers and extended tie rods so I can get back on the track. I will be using the tension rods off of Rob's kit as well as the knuckle until I eventually get a kit of my own. So guys over at Villains Drift, thank you. I'm gonna go ahead and jack up the car and take a look at that Heim joint. It was on the passenger side, but I will be replacing both. I want to take a look at the rack. Nothing is leaking, but I want to make sure it is okay. To do that, I talked to Rob. Rob recommended that when I disconnect the tie rods, just sit in the car and turn the wheel, you know, lock to lock, and see if there's any binding. If you guys remember, I was turning my wheel right, looking right, but going straight into the wall. One thing that I do preach on this channel that I have experienced firsthand, and I know you guys have witnessed that too, is I don't like to cheap out on parts. I don't buy parts off eBay. You know, I would rather spend the more money to have the nicer part because I know it's insurance in the future. That is why the car has been dead for so long. I'm not just gonna go ahead and throw on another Heim joint. You know, I'm gonna actually take the appropriate measures to upgrade accordingly. For those of you asking about Germany too, I will be there for the 24-hour race of Nürburgring. I will be there all week. I'll be going with SCG, the Scuderian Cameron Glickenhaus, the SCG 003S. You guys saw I did a review of that over at Thermal when I was there for the Lamborghini track day. I'm super excited. Any of you guys from Germany, I'll be around. Since everyone complains that I don't put a wheel under the car even though the car is on jack stands, to humor you guys, I'm gonna put the wheel under the car. So this is what Villain Drift sent me, the two extended stock S14 lowers, tie rods, and then the tie rod ends. Ours and I were just talking and we both agree that the play is coming from the ball joint on the knuckle, but I'm just gonna keep calling it the Heim on the lower control arm. And I believe what happened is when this one failed and separated, this had play and wore and then ended up breaking as well. But look, let me show you guys the play. Keep an eye on this lower Heim here. There we go. But yeah, so that little bit of play is going to cause a huge amount of problems. So for good measures, I do want to check the rack. The rack felt fine when I lifted the car up. I was moving it side to side, and plus Dylan sent me some tie rods to use anyways that are extended, so I'm just going to swap those out in the meantime. Plus, my current one is pretty chewed up. You guys remember when the Heim failed, it really ate away at it, so I think safe precaution just to go ahead and replace it anyways. As you guys can tell, this has been a huge factor in me getting some seat time, so thank you Villains Drift for just kind of sending me some irons in the meantime. I will be eventually upgrading knuckle, tension rod, tie rod, lower control arm, etc. to have my own full kit, because right now I'm still borrowing some of Rob's arms and knuckle, technically the tension arm and the knuckle. And not gonna lie, I needed help breaking that tie rod loose. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Did you guys order an ambulance?
Nice to meet you.
So apparently they watch my videos. Thank you guys. I know I didn't have to completely remove the tie rods in order to test binding in the rack, but I was gonna replace them anyways, so alright. Ooh, smooth like butter. I mean, I don't think the rack is bad. There's no leaking. It's just crazy to me how, like, that amount of play, like, which I didn't think was huge in the wheel, because let me tell you, the last time was a big deal. Created that much of a difference while driving. No, this glides like butter. We're good. We're good. Cool. So now to remove the lower control arms. Alright, Ecrew, quick meal break, and then back to the lower control arms. Chicken fajitas, your girl's gotta get back in shape. Looks so bomb. I don't know if you guys have seen this before, I haven't, but Andy says by hitting the top of the glass with water in it, and he can knock out the bottom, so.
It's pretty cool stuff.
I wanna see it. Dude! What?
This one actually broke pretty cool.
Whoa! Where'd it go? It's right here.
And don't cut yourself.
That was impressive. Alright, not even gonna front with you guys. I left the offset tie rod spacers, I guess you would call them, when I did the wheel-to-wheel lock, but the rack was fine. I'm going to now take them off with a slide pull hammer. I've tried hitting them with the hammer, I've tried everything, they didn't come off, but the right tool makes your life a lot easier. Alright, it's getting dark, so we're gonna put the car up on dollies to bring her inside to have some light and warmness. Okay, car is on the lift. Gonna get this done now. Took off the cotter pins on both castle nuts here. Had to use a little wire cut in order to get this one off. It was a little finicky, but that's probably my favorite tool to use to actually get cotter pins off. Now just to remove the lower control arm. So looking at these lower control arms compared to the ones I was running, pretty gnarly difference, but they honestly, maybe they're not the same length. Alright, I'm gonna give you guys kind of a mouthful right now. I'm kind of plug and playing a lot of different arms right now because I don't have a kit of my own. I'm borrowing Rob's. Villain sent me some arms to kind of get me on the track in the meantime. It looks like the new extended lowers are a little bit longer. The tie rods are significantly longer. And then I'm gonna have to reuse Rob's tension arms that he was letting me borrow before. So I may have to cut off a couple threads on the tie rods. We'll see. I feel like they're meant for each other so that you wouldn't have to cut any of them off, but again, we'll see. I'm probably going to put the lower control arm on, put the tie rod on, see if the tension rod fits, but there could be a huge issue here with fitment. Before I tackle on that though, I'm gonna go ahead and take off all the arms on the other side so that I'm on par with each side. Alright, so we're trying to figure out what to do right now. It looks like the tension rods did fit with the lower control arms. We are going to have to cut the tie rods a little bit in order to fit. I was really hoping we wouldn't have to. And then this is going to be a temporary fix until I can get to the track. I may be able to do a track day, hopefully, before going back to my stock S14 tension rods, because that's what this platform is designed for, until I get a kit.
Yeah, the taper is different from the ball joint.
Alright, I'm closing out here. It's become a very late night. The suspension, the front suspension on this car, aside from the coilovers, have been the guys over from Villains Drift were really trying to do me a solid, and I thought this would work, but let me show you. The tie rod they sent me, absolute fire. The lower control arm they sent me would be fire, and would be so clutch and helpful if I weren't running stupid aftermarket knuckles that the taper is too small to fit the taper of the ball joint. I was really looking forward to getting back on the track and getting some seat time, but this may delay it a little more. I'm just ready to get some seat time, if you guys know what I'm saying. Thank you everyone who jumped on buying stickers today. Hopefully they're not sold out by now. I don't know. I do respect and appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for not only sharing but commenting and being a part of the Ecrew family. I'm going to bed. Bye!